Hey everybody, Merry Christmas. How y'all doing? Thanks for coming in. Hi Shalom. Hey again, Kathy. I'm getting started. Let me hear if I hang on, let me sit. Can you guys see back behind me? I got two of them already. I'm not sure what order I'm going to put all these strips in. This is sort of mishmash, however I feel like. Hi, Allison. I'll let a few more people get in here before I explain. I think I'm like, there, that's a little better. Hi, June. This runner is going to be mine. So I'm just kind of seating my pantsing it again. I put this with spray based, 505 or whatever it's called. 505? Yeah. Sorry, brain fart. There's the back. And this piece of batting is 14 inches across this way. Let me get that out of the way. So when I'm making up these little bits, I am making sure that they are lengthwise about 14 and a half, 14 and a quarter. Hello, Gladys. Thank you for joining. Just to be sure I'm not short. And I'm varying up the placement of the other piece. I'm probably going to wind up doing this quilt as you go. That's kind of the plan. So there's one of the ones I did already. I may not even use all the ones I cut. I just kind of went through my stash and found largish prints or whatever looked kind of good and went, oh, I'll try that. I'll try that. I'll try that. We'll see how it goes. Thank you, June. She's just very pretty. Yeah, I have a lot of these nice kind of glittery Christmas prints, so that we'll use them. And I know that this in the tree doesn't really go particularly because it's white and gray, but there is a little bit of gold sparkle on the tree, and the other trees have gold in them too, so it's not bad, and it kind of breaks up the red and greenness a bit, I think. Hey, Kim. Hi, Laura. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And I'm not sure of my order yet. I just kind of threw them up there, and we'll see. This one I still have to get down to, excuse me, to 14 and a half-ish. So I'm going to just turn the laptop around and cut for a second while you all talk to one another. In 2 weeks when I'm back, I'll work on this again. I'm going to work on it here and there too, just to get it done. I might wind up doing binding when we're live again, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let's get the big ruler. Yeah. So once it's squared up and straight, then I just trim it up. So line up along the edge like so. It's really hard to see in this light sometimes. There, okay. Straighten that up, nick that little bit off there. Whoops. What's everybody working on, if anything? I'm not sure how long I'll be on here. I do have other things I need to accomplish today. Actually, I think I'm going to take, hang on, I don't want that one. I might move that one over to the next spot. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll take some off of this edge. Where's 14 at? Yeah, that'll be okay. All right, we'll do that. Yes, I do talk to myself when I'm working. 14. Well, that's more like 5/8, but okay. Close enough. And we're straight on there, and we're straight on there. Good to go. Okay. Whoop. All right. Put that up there for now. Okay. I'm going to twist you back around again. Sorry about this, everybody, but I'm doing YouTube Live on the laptop again. Okay, now, I want you guys to see something. In my opinion, these two spots are too close together. And obviously, I can't flip it around because otherwise the houses are upside down. So I'm probably going to put a different piece in and have the little gray and white spot like here. Just, make it look different throughout the, you know what I mean? Somehow. So let me just quickly cut this one and then I can start sewing. Hold on. I want to cut it kind of near the top-ish this time. Then I'll put that one next to the red one maybe or something. Let's trim that little nasty bit off first. I will talk to you. Sorry, I'm not switching it around all the time. You can look at my wall of stuff instead. Okay, where are we here? I want to keep that right about there. So we'll go like 5.5 down. We'll try that. As far as binding goes, I'm more than likely going to go. Oh, hi, Tracy. Probably going to go with as many of my relatively plain reds as possible and just make it really scrappy. Although there is enough extra fabric on that I could do it the cheater way. But I think that's a little busy for binding. You know what I mean? It would look okay, I guess, but not. Yeah, Shalom. We're all BCs here. And Kathy's close enough because she's across the border in Washington. She's neighbor too. Allison's going to be cutting the crib size quilt that I made with the scraps from the full size quilt that I made for a friend's daughter. Oh, awesome. That'll be cool, Allison. Yay, more neighbors. Yeah, Tracy and Shalom are on the island. And I'm in Chilliwack, Fraser Valley, east of Vancouver. It is bucketing rain out. I don't know if you guys can hear the drip, 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 drip. Okay, I need my little bit of tree here. See, here, I'll show you closer. See how the trees have little gold stars? So the gold kind of goes with, right? So if I want that to be like that, kind of higher up, then I'm going to sew the trees that way first. I'm using this fabric now too. Light here sucks badly, but not much I can do about it. Okay. Make sure they're the right way around. Boop. I don't know how long I'll be on. Excuse me. I do have to go out later. Hopefully the rain tapers off a little bit to get, hopefully, a couple of books our daughter wants. There's some series that she wants, and her best friend's getting her the first one. So I was going to go to Indigo Chapters in the mall and see if the other two were there. If not, I'm going to Canadian Tire and looking at Instapots because she wants one of them too. So if you all have an Instapot and have a recommendation for brand names, let me know. Yeah. My family does a Christmas draw. So my brother-in-law, my sister's hubby, has my daughter in the draw. So whatever I get, I have to tell him, obviously. Okay, so there's that one. Got to press it, but then this goes down here. Right? Make sense? Let's chat up too. Hi, Jane. Shalom says, I would love to hear from all the neighbors where you're shopping for fabric. Here in Chilliwack, I do Fabricland occasionally, and there are 2 good quilting stores I go to. And Shalom says, Canadian Tire is super dangerous on the wall at this time of year. Yes, it is. My husband was there a couple weeks ago and comes back and he says, you know that Yeti from Rudolph? You know, the big abominable snowman? They had one there, the thing's like 8 feet tall. And it's like $600 or something. Like, he said it was cool though. Yeah, I try to get in and out of there like pretty quick because I don't really need anything more Christmassy. I mean, I did decorate last week. We haven't put our tree up yet though. That might be this weekend, but I put up the houses on the mantle and, you know, little bits of whatnot around the living room and stuff and in the bathroom. And so far, our son's cat has not played with any of it. Knock on wood. We'll see what happens when the tree goes up. She's checked everything out, but she hasn't really done anything. She just seems curious is all, but she just sniffs at things, which that's okay. Sniffing is allowed. Okay. Now I'm going to pull this. Hang on one sec. Can you guys see that? Oh, shit. Okay, maybe not. Sorry. What I'm attempting to do when I line up the second one is I line it up to the first one just to have it not so wonkapus one after I do them both. So if you can see that. So both of these green ones are kind of lined up together pretty much. That one swung out there a little bit, but you get the idea. I'm attempting to be straight. Sometimes I do know what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, sorry, forgot to turn you up. I'm sewing away and you're looking at the wall. Sorry. Okay. Oh, Jane says like the headband. Thanks. Kim's got a Power Pressure Plus. Okay. Thank you, Kim. I'll keep an eyeball out. Oh, and Shalom says the wall of junk by the checkouts. I know they have so much little crap there. Shalom says, like, oh, Laura says I can't recommend anything for Erica. She lives in Arizona. That's good. You have a couple of quilt shops nearby, Laura. It's always good to have that. But she's been trying to buy from small shops on Etsy. Jane says, you always know what you're doing, and I'm enjoying the instructions. Well, thank you for that. I do my best. Doesn't always work, though. Okay. So there, that's, obviously it's like way too long. So I'm going to cut it so that this is near the top of the 14.5 inches. I'll probably wind up getting them all done or most of them done, so I have a good starting point. And then I'll lay them out and sew them on how I want to. Again, probably quilt as you go. Let me just press this one. I'm thinking, actually, if I start with this big fat one here, I'm not sure how big it is. Hold on. What are we at here? Almost 7 inches. If I start with this one on the edge and then quilt it down like several lines, I think that might be a good anchoring point. Or do you think I should start kind of in the middle of that batting and just go outwards? I spray glued the heck out of it, so it shouldn't shift around, but I'm thinking I might do the middle. I was mulling this over while I was setting all this up, and I'm not sure even still. Probably. But until I get a bunch of these chunks finished, it kind of doesn't matter anyway, so that's sort of the focus today. There we go. There's that one. I'm just going to stick it back up here. I'll do a lot of trimming later on. Pin it to be sure. So that, yeah, that'll be good. That one's an up there one. Now, I have another poinsettia piece. This was from Fabricland because I did just cut the selvage off. And that's what it said. But I had it for, I don't know, donkey's years. The other one that I was using before, I think is as well. There's a couple of these that are Robert Kaufman. That green one I was just using, for example. Okay, I think I'm going to cut that one right across the middle. Hang on one sec. Middle-ish. I suppose it doesn't really matter how I lay them out. I just really didn't want them all that close together. But maybe I'm just being particular. I don't know. Okay, middle-ish. All right, that looks good right there. Whoop. Oh, thank you. Hi, Mona. Thanks for joining. And thank you, Jane, for reminding people to give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Okay. So I have a huge piece of this. I don't need it that wide. I'm just going to figure out where I want the houses. The other one's got... The other one has houses with the tree on the left. So I might just actually cut the tree off totally. Put it more in the middle. Oh, there's a bird that comes in there. Maybe. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll try that. The pattern's not super wide across anyway, so we'll go, let's see, we'll do that way because that will work, I think. Let's give it a couple pins here because this is bigger. So 2 weeks from now is the 19th, correct? And I will be back on then doing something with this. With any luck, putting the binding on because I don't really want this languishing. I'd kind of like to use it at Christmas. We are hosting Christmas Eve. We are hosting Christmas Eve. It's very cash. Family members, good friends of ours. We did put out a few appies. Other people bring an appy. We just sit around and nibble and visit. And the dartboard will be in use downstairs in the bar. So it'll be all good. And then on Christmas, we are going to my mom and dad's. Okay, I got to get rid of these. They're getting itchy. There. So much for festivity. I'll just stick with the earrings. Oh, Tracy and Shalom are talking about fabric stores on Vancouver Island. Awesome. Mona says, what am I making? I'm going to be making myself a table runner. Here, I'll show you what I've already done, kind of. I'm doing randomly width strips and cutting them and putting a piece of whatever in the middle of it. So I have this housing stuff, like a village, and I have trees. And I'm just going to put them in some fashion across the runner. Probably quilt as you go. Probably. I'm just thinking it might save me some time, which would be good around now. Know what I mean? Things are starting to get a little hairy. Yeah, so the next time is the 19th, and that'll be it for Christmas, and hopefully I'll get this finished. Next Friday, the 12th, my husband's birthday. And I know a lot of people are doing quilt miss. That's great. I've been watching everybody. I've been getting the words. I think that's a cool thing. I know a lot of quilty friends are doing it. People that I know, they're stitchers doing floss miss. Cool. I try to watch everybody's. Doesn't always work, but I do try. I didn't join the fray of that. Fair enough. Everyone does their own thing. I'm doing craft miss. Various things. Because I do various things. Starting next Friday. That was an arbitrary decision on my part. 12 days of Craftmas, starting on my husband's birthday, gets us to the 23rd. Thought that was kind of convenient. Right? Shalom says, Craftmas, I love it. Thank you. I thought it was a kind of an okay idea. I've got most of the videos kind of, a couple are done. Some are still on the go. I'm just trying to get my head of myself. So I have not like last minute all the time. I've got a bunch of Christmas fabric down here cut because I'm going to make myself one of those styrofoamy balls. You know, the folded up thing. I was just thinking, I should cut my fabric. I should get all ready. And then last night before, so Becca did one. So when I do mine, I will link Becca's video because I usually watch Shabby Fabrics because that's how I found out how to do the dang thing in the first place. And Jen Bosworth's videos from like 10 years ago. Because I was like, I want to make one of those balls. And I went and hunted up and aha. And then there's two ladies whose names I cannot recall. They have a channel called Wisdom Preserved. And they do like old-fashioned things like canning and whatever. But they did one of those no quilt styrofoam ball things. So I've looked at their video as a refresher. Because sometimes I'm like, how did I do that again? You know? And I wanted to make myself another one because we have a nice big tree. We got a very cheap, almost free fake one last year. And we have a big peak in our living room. So the tree's it's like 7 feet tall. And we can't have a little dinky tree there. It looks stupid. So we have to have a tall tree. I'll try and take a photo of the living room, like when the tree is up, so you guys can kind of get the gist of it. And I'll put it up as a post. Shalom says, I used to make those with my mom as a kid. Yeah. You know, old stuff comes back around again. Mona says they're everywhere. I haven't watched one yet. I look forward to your video. Thank you. Yeah. I think it's called No Sew Quilted Star Ornament or something like that. There's another channel called The Ornament Girl that does a bunch of them too. And different types. So whilst I'm cutting that fabric up, because that's going to be one of my Craftmas videos, I won't go into too much of it because you see them all over the place, and I just told you where to go look for other videos. So I'll just do it kind of like this is how I'm making mine and do a bunch of video links in the description box. I will give you as best a visual as I can as I do it, obviously, but some people have really good overhead setups and it's easier to see. So that's why I put links in. And I am going to be making a Christmas quilt. So I got to do fabric cutting for that. It's for our nephew and his wife. They already know they're getting it. They know they're not getting it for Christmas. They might get it next Christmas. But I'm going to at least start it to show you guys something. Okay, I think that'll work. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good placement with the tree sort of in the middle. That'll work. So it'll be kind of like that. The tree sort of in the middle. Some houses. I know I cut the top of the house off, but I'm not really caring about that. All these strips, these ones, I cut them 3 inches wide. Oh, like this way. So they're 2.5 finished. If you wanted to do this type of thing, you could absolutely cut them whatever the heck way you wanted to, obviously. But I just thought, well, if I cut them that way, it's a nice break-up point between the two fabrics, but it isn't huge. And I don't really think this is a pattern per se. I'm just kind of doing it. So if you want to follow me along, by all means, I'll be as concise as I can. But please feel free to email me if you have questions, because my email is in the main part of my channel. And I don't mind if you pick my brain about stuff. Laura says, I like to make one of the folded star ornaments, but they could be time consuming. I just don't have enough time to do everything. Yeah, I know it's hard, isn't it, this time of year? They're not as bad as you think, though. Once you get started, you sort of get like into a rhythm of it, you know? I do find my fingers get a bit sore from all the pinning, so I don't do the whole thing at once either. I've made a few over the years, here and there. All right, let's line that up a little bit better. There we go. I think it would help speed to have all of your fabric squares cut and folded up 4 times to have the crease in the middle before you get started. And who did I watch someone recently? Maybe it was Becca's video. And she actually shoved the pin right through the middle of hers and just had a bunch sitting there beside her with the pin already in it. That would work. Oh, hey, Katie. How you doing? You feeling okay? I like all your posts about the timing of the darkness in Greenland. There we go. There's that one. I'll give it a quick pressing. What's our time at? 9 o'clock. Okay. I might have to stop pretty soon so I can get my errands ran and done. Okay. So, needs to be squared up and trimmed a bit, but essentially that's it. Oh, Katie's been awake since 6. Goodness. She thought it would be good to the countdown to winter solstice. Yeah, that's a good idea. Won't be long now, right? Oh, goodness, Laura. Laura says their family have 5 birthdays before Christmas and 2 after Christmas. That's busy. We only got hubby. And then my dad's birthday early in January. Okay, I think I have to pin that because it's floppy. All right. Stick it up there for now. And I think we'll do this one. Whoops, that's pinned. Haha. Yank it off the wall when there's a pin on it. Good plan. I didn't have very much of this one, so it's kind of a skinny one. And that red one, I'm tempted. Put this down here for a sec. I am tempted to soak this with a scrap bit of fabric because I think it still might run. I've washed this fabric multitudes of times and it just seems to want to keep running. So I think I'll just dunk it in a bowl with something before I use it. Just in case. Very irritating, nonetheless. I want 2. There we go. Okay. All right, this one. I'm going to cut it. Down low again, I think. I'll vary these up enough when I lay them out. It'll be okay. This thing is massively long already. We don't need it any more than that. I'll put the scrap in the bin. I was going to trim it down a bit more and I just forgot. Okay, there's that. That side looks funny. We'll give that a trim up. None of the prints I'm using are directional. It's only the houses and the trees that are. So I kind of thought that would work. Make my life easier. Jane says, I like the house fabric. Very Christmassy. I also like your layout wall. I think I need to create a space for one. Jane, it's a flannel sheet. And my husband staple gunned it to the wall. Mona says, I've heard vinegar helps, but I haven't watched and tried it. Yeah, I've heard that too, Mona. My friend uses kosher salt to set it. Apparently that works too. So I could give either one a go, I guess. I can just do it in the sink probably. She says when she washes fabric in her washing machine, she just takes like a handful of kosher salt and just chucks it in. Shalom, are you talking dye? Well, no, one of my fabrics is it tends to run a bit. And usually when I wash it, I put like those color catcher things in it. And they seem to be coming out like pretty pale to me. Like I usually I'll wash it a few times. Oh, that's paler, that's paler, that's paler. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's still, I don't know. It's whatever. I think I'm probably being paranoid. I'm sure it's fine. I just don't want to go and wash my runner and have all these little white bits of the trees be pink. That would look stupid. So. I want to sew it this way. I don't like the looks of that. There. See better. I'm not being super tight about my 1/4 inch seam allowance either. I'm sort of going along the edge of this walking foot because I haven't taken it off yet. Quite often I just leave it on anyway and keep going. It's the very edge is, it isn't quite 3/8. So my seam allowance is probably somewhere between 1/4 inch and 3/8. And I'm okay with that in this instance because it does not really matter. There we go. I was trying to mix up the fabric colors too, just to have it more variety. Some reddish, and these black, some red, some green, some poinsettias. I got that red one's got snowflakes on it. Some of them are just swirly. I have a big blue tub over in the corner full of Christmas stuff. I just reefed through there and went, oh, that looks good. That looks good. Oh, what did Laura say here? I use salt to fix fabric colors, and when I wash my quilts, I use color catcher just in case. Okay, Jane, thank you. Kim says, my mom used to put a cup of white vinegar and 1/2 cup of salt in the cold water with the colors, ran one cycle, and then dried the fabrics. Ah, okay. Good to know. Okay. I'll do some experimenting. Science class. It's a small piece of fabric, so I don't know, a tablespoon of vinegar and a tablespoon of salt, maybe. I do have more of it in the stash though, so I think I might try your 1 cup and 1 cup and do it in the washing machine again. Just in case. Oh my God, it's just bucketing out. Ugh. Oh well. Part of where we live. Anybody got snow yet? Doesn't happen too often around here, right? My island friends and Kathy. Most areas of Chilliwack are flat and like barely above sea level, 10 feet or something. I don't know, nothing much. But around the southern area of town, there's more hilly areas. And occasionally lately, when there's been rain here, there's been a little sprinkle up there. But it doesn't stick around, it just melts. That's not to say we never get snow around this time of year. It's possible. It just isn't very often. So when you've seen me put videos and or pictures up on my channel of snow, it's because it's an event. And likely it's gone the next day because the temperature's gone up and it's rained. So then it's just a big sloppy mess and doesn't look pretty anyway. Okay, so there's the problematic one. We'll just leave that for the time being. And we'll do this one. And then I'll probably call it because we're at, I can't see the, 10 after. I'm peering at the laptop. Katie says, not even a flake. Is it cold though, Katie? Jane says around me in the UK, it's just rain and rain and rain and rain. Snow is rare and short-lived. Yeah, same rainforest, right? Yep. That keeps it all green and nice, though. And we need to have it. And we do need to have snow in the mountains. Because by about May, the whole province is going to be on fire again. Okay. I got a funny end on this one. I'm doing this darkish. I've had this for ages. I think that this is like one of my last pieces of it. This is a Robert Kaufman. Probably bought it like 4 years ago. I don't even remember what I made with it. Gave it away, maybe. Okay, let's take this funky end off. I was trying to get all these trimmed up and nice before I started, but I ran out of time. Okay, let's go. Put it at about 9. Go 8 on there. I'll cut that down at 8. And then this one can go at the bottom. Okay. Whoop. All right. Where do I want to put the houses? I think no tree in this one. I'll just go house. So, ooh, scissors. Uh-huh. Oh, good on you, Shalom. Get the blood sugar down, right? I'm going to cut that off because it's too flappy. That can be a scrap. Okay. Put that on there. Oh, I think the rain's getting worse, not better. Lovely. Oh, well. As my grandma always said, you're not made of sugar, you won't melt. Okay. Okay. Move the iron around here for a second so I don't have to go too far away. There we go. Put that one on top like that. Actually, make sure the selvage is on the other end. Yep. Hang on, that doesn't look right. Just a minute. Just a minute. There, that'll do. Okay. There we go. After I get these sewn like this, I do make sure they're straightened out. Like I line up the lines of my ruler on the on this fabric. Sometimes I have to trim it a little bit. So first of all, straight and square, then trimmed off to about 14.5 to 14.75 long. That will give me more than sufficient to go over the edge of the 14-inch batting. I think you missed that, Mona, because you came in after I was showing everybody. Hang on. I spray basted the heck out of this, so it's stuck on good. But the batting is 14 inches this way. And I'm not sure how long I made it. I can't remember. I had a chunk and I took it out on my coffee table and went, oh, that's good enough. So I don't really know how long it is. Okay, I'm going to hang this back up here, and that's probably going to be it for today. Okay. How are we doing here? I've only missed a lot of chat. Okay. Okay, Tracy's out of here for now. Off to physio. Excellent, Tracy. Thanks for popping in. See you around. Merry Christmas. Yes, Alex Wetty in British Columbia. Absolutely. Well, my little corner. I would have bet the most of the province is getting snow, though, because there's like 90% mountains. There's snow everywhere, just not right here. Okay, so since it is 9:16, I'm going to call it, because I have other stuff I have to do. And I will attempt to get it mostly organized as far as trimmed and which piece goes where and whatever, and decide how I'm doing quilts as you go. I'm leaning to one of those larger poinsettia pieces to be in the middle. So I'll stick them in the middle, I'll pin them, run a couple quilting lines, and then I'll move everything outward from there, I think. We'll see. I don't know yet. Yeah, I might not even need all of them, all those strips. Let's see how it goes. Bye, Kathy. Oh, hi, Agnes. Sorry, lurking is all good. I'm glad you were here, but I am going to call it here. Just got a lot of stuff to do today. So I do appreciate it once again, everybody who's come to join me today for 47 minutes. And I hope I was somewhat instructional. If I do one of these again, I'll do a proper video, but you guys know me, you've been around enough. I kind of just seat in my pants at half the time, and I just show you, hey, this is what I'm doing. And this is not a big brainer thing. You can do this yourself easily enough. Do it however you want it. You can do all red and put green little bits in the middle or something or whatever. It'll be fine. You can do it Halloween too. Absolutely. Any old thing, don't matter. It's a method. Okay, so thanks, gang. Merry Christmas to all. See you in 2 weeks.